You might be actively fighting your happiness. So here's what I mean by that. Have you ever heard the phrase or the saying people have said, happiness is an inside job? You know, I probably heard the phrase, maybe used it before without fully understanding what it means. And yesterday I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast about happiness, and she brought up some very, very valid points around happiness. And happiness is an active choice in any given moment, in any given situation, whatever we happen to be going through at the time. We have the choice to be happy or to be kind of stuck in misery or campaigning for misery, looking for things that can go wrong, that will go wrong, that do go wrong, and have that affect our mood and our, kind of how we approach things, kind of, what is that phrase? Like a Debbie Downer type of thing. And the energy that you have inside of you is what fuels and drives your happiness or blocks it. So here's what I mean by that. I shared a story on several social media channels last week that I was going from New Jersey to Washington D.C. via Amtrak, and I got on the wrong train. And I had never traveled by train to DC in that direction. And I had treated myself to the first class ticket. I was really excited to be on the fast train, the Acela train. I paid extra for it. And I got on the train that showed up the time my train was supposed to show up without checking and making sure. I just assumed. And when the conductor came around to check my ticket, he was like, "Girl, you are on the wrong train." And I just felt my heart sink. Like, oh my God, I have no idea where I'm going to end up. It's kind of like, well, what I did was think, well, thank God it's not the wrong plane. And we're already in the air, and the train can't turn around and get me to my right train, who was right behind us. So, my point in sharing the story was the conductor just looked at me and said, "Don't worry, we'll get you straightened out. We'll get you to DC somehow." And he really took the time and care to check in with me and make sure I got reticketed once we got to Philadelphia to get on the right train. Not the train I paid for, but to at least get me to my destination. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, because I have, the old me, let me put it this way. Before I did all of this work on myself and personal development and intelligence, would have been quite upset. And I was upset and disappointed with myself, but it would have affected my mood. And I refused to be unkind to people, to take out my mistake on other people, to let it make me grouchy or grumpy. And I know that if I react in kindness and happiness and see the humor in it, that other people will be kind as well, because I think kindness begets kindness. And, long story short, the gentleman escorted me when we got to that stop to make sure I got on the right train and didn't get lost again and made it to my destination. And so it could have gone either way. It could have gone where I was beating myself up, as a lot of us often do. It could have gone where I had gotten upset that they didn't make an announcement that my train would be late or didn't put it up on the board, which I don't know for sure. Maybe I missed it. And I really wanted to stay grounded and in a positive energy so that I didn't put that energy out into the world. Because my day started out, this is the funny part. I was visiting my dad. My day started out with me turning on the shower and the shower head blowing off and all these screws and coils at the bottom of the tub. And I was like, oh, my dad's 91, and I was there to help him do some things around the house and doctor's appointments. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is the morning I'm leaving. Ah! So there was that. And how am I going to take a shower? Figured it out. Everything is figure outable. Then I get on the wrong train. Then I have a client call with my group coaching clients that night, and my Zoom is not working. My Zoom has been downsized, and I kept getting kicked out of the Zoom. So it was a day, dare I say, a weekend of a series of unfortunate events that had started before that. But at no time was I tempted, because of the work I've done with myself and with coaches and mentors and being a high performer. At no time did I fall into that trap of victimhood. Why is this happening to me? Why is everything going wrong? Is Mercury in retrograde? What's going on? I can't catch a break. All of these things that can sabotage your happiness. And I immediately went to the thought of, okay, what is what am I supposed to be learning in all of this? What is the opportunity for me here? There's a reason why all of this is happening. And, I thought about that conductor who was so kind and so nice. And, I made him take a selfie with me. I gave him a nice tip. I said, let me buy you lunch, whatever it is you need. If you don't want it, pay it forward. And I just saw this man beaming and smiling, and maybe for whatever might be going on in his life that I don't know about, maybe he needed somebody to be kind to him that day and make them smile, because I'm sure he has moments in his job where it feels thankless, where people don't appreciate his help, his kindness, because we are living in a world where not everyone treats everybody kind. And so when you look at your happiness, when you look at your day to day, are you clear about what makes you happy? And are you clear about what makes you unhappy? And if you know what makes you happy, ask yourself, how can I get more of this in my life? How can I generate energy that creates happiness? How can I not let my outside storms, the storms that are happening all around me, of create a storm inside of me? You've got to be the calm in the middle of the storm. One thing Mel did say on her podcast was that the center of a tornado is actually still and quiet. It's the outside that's swirling. Now, Lord knows we've got a lot of things swirling around us on a day to day basis. How can we be that calm in the middle of the storm? How can we have the energy of grounding and calmness and figuring things out, keeping a smile on our face, making someone's day, spreading kindness. That's what I want to say. Spreading kindness throughout the world, because yes, there will be storms around us and we don't know what other people are going through. And we also don't know their level of emotional intelligence or personal development, where they can handle things. People are handling things that we can't see. And it's really important for us to be that example of grounded energy, of happiness, of kindness. We don't have to get caught up in the swirl that's around us. It is a choice. So when I say that happiness is an inside job, it's got to come from the inside out. The outside forces cannot make you happy. A man cannot make you happy. A woman cannot make you happy. Other people cannot make you happy. You have to decide within yourself that you are going to show up a certain way in your life and generate the energy that creates your own happiness. You have to make choices in your life that are aligned to your vision, goals, and values, and not to please other people. All of these acts, taking care of yourself, will create your own happiness. I work with a lot of clients who tell me that they are just going along with what their spouse or partner or boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other is saying, and it's not really what they want to do. And it's creating this energy of, happiness, settling, being mediocre. What is it that makes you happy? And how can you make choices for you so that your happiness is a direct result of your choice, not relying on anybody else, not relying on the fact that the sun is shining or not relying on the fact of how other people treat you. How can you be happy with you and generate that? And so that's what they mean by happiness is an inside job. It happens inside of us and we generate it out. Okay, that's all of my preaching for today. You can control your happiness. You can choose to be happy. You can make choices that are aligned with what makes you happy. And you, only you, are responsible for being happy. It is indeed an inside job. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you next week. Ciao.